Greetings, dear subscribers and casual listeners of my channel. Have you ever wondered why no one used the time turner to save Dumbledore? What if there was a way to prevent his death, but no one even tried? In today's video, you'll find out the real reason why the time turner couldn't bring Dumbledore back. When I first watched Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, one question kept nagging at me. Was there really no way to save Dumbledore? My friends and I left the theatre, discussing every possible solution. And soon we had an idea. Why didn't Harry use the time turner? He had used it before, he knew how it worked, and Dumbledore meant so much to him. Wouldn't he at least try? But he didn't. Why? The time turner is a small hourglass on a chain that allows the user to travel back in time. In The Prisoner of Azkaban, Hermione used it to attend multiple classes at once. Professor McGonagall gave it to her as a special privilege. Later, she revealed its secret to Harry and Ron, and together they used it to save Buckbeak and Sirius Black. So why wasn't it even considered in The Half-Blood Prince when Snape killed Dumbledore? Harry was devastated. Dumbledore was more than just a headmaster to him. I couldn't stop thinking about this. After digging into the books and discussing with fellow fans, I found several possible answers. First, Dumbledore was already dying. He had destroyed one of Voldemort's Horcruxes and was cursed beyond healing. Maybe Harry understood that saving him would only delay the inevitable. Second, time travel in the wizarding world is dangerous. One of its biggest rules is that you can't interfere with your own past. Meeting yourself or changing major events could have catastrophic consequences. Perhaps Harry simply didn't know how to alter the timeline without making things worse. But even with these reasons, something still didn't add up. Then I found the real answer. In The Order of the Phoenix, during the battle at the Ministry of Magic, all the time turners in the Department of Mysteries were destroyed. That scene never made it into the movies, leaving many viewers unaware that time travel was no longer an option. So, in the end, it wasn't a plot hole, it was just a missing detail from the films. Would the final battle have played out the same way if Dumbledore had lived? Would Voldemort have been defeated sooner, or would things have taken an even darker turn? Dumbledore's presence in the story was always that of a guiding force. He wasn't just a headmaster, he was a strategist, a guardian, and the one person who truly understood Voldemort's weaknesses. Without him, Harry had to rely on fragmented clues, trial and error, and sheer determination. If Dumbledore had survived, he would have continued leading the fight, perhaps uncovering more about the Horcruxes before Harry even needed to go searching. But then again, if Dumbledore had lived, would Harry have been ready to face Voldemort alone? Dumbledore knew his time was running out. That's why he spent his last year preparing Harry, revealing bits and pieces of the Dark Lord's past, guiding him toward the mission that only he could complete. If he had been saved, would he have continued to shelter Harry? Would he have tried to take on the burden himself, shielding Harry from his ultimate destiny? There's also another problem. Even if Harry had managed to turn back time and prevent Dumbledore's death, the consequences could have been devastating. In The Prisoner of Azkaban, we saw that any changes made in the past had to be part of an already existing timeline. Harry didn't actually change anything. He had always been the one who cast the Patronus to save himself and Sirius. So what happens if someone truly changes the past? Imagine Harry using the time turner to go back, stopping Snape before he casts the killing curse. What then? Would Snape still be trusted by Voldemort? Would Draco have been forced to kill Dumbledore himself? Or would Voldemort have found another way, a worse way, to strike down the greatest wizard of their time? It's also worth mentioning that time travel in the Harry Potter universe is different from many other stories. It's not about creating alternate realities or diverging timelines. It's a closed loop, meaning if something happens, It was meant to happen. If Dumbledore was meant to die, then no matter how many times someone tries to change the past, fate will find a way to set things back on course. And let's not forget the destruction of the time-turners in the Ministry. Even if Harry had wanted to try, he wouldn't have had the chance. This is a detail that many movie-only fans missed, since the scene never made it to the big screen. When the time room was destroyed, all possibilities of time travel were wiped out with it. Still, it's fascinating to wonder what could have been. Would the final battle at Hogwarts have been different with Dumbledore standing alongside the defenders? Would Snape's role have remained a mystery longer, or would he have never needed to make his ultimate sacrifice? Would Voldemort have found a way to strike back harder, sensing that his greatest threat was still alive? It's tempting to believe that saving Dumbledore would have been the right choice. That with his wisdom and power, the war would have ended sooner, with fewer casualties. But maybe his death was necessary. Maybe it was the catalyst that pushed Harry, McGonagall, and the entire Order of the Phoenix into action. Maybe, without the weight of that loss, Harry would never have had the drive to see things through to the end. There's another perspective to consider. Dumbledore wasn't just a leader in the war, he was also a symbol. His death wasn't just tragic, it was a turning point. It showed the wizarding world that even the greatest of them could fall. It forced others to step up, to take on responsibilities they might have otherwise left to him. Would Neville have found the courage to lead the rebellion at Hogwarts if Dumbledore had been there? Would Harry have accepted his role as the chosen one so fully? Would Snape have had his moment of redemption, proving that his loyalty had always been to Lily's memory? One of the most powerful themes in Harry Potter is that death is not the end. Dumbledore himself often spoke of it as the next great adventure. His death wasn't meaningless. It wasn't just a loss. It was part of the story, part of Harry's journey, part of the fate that had been set in motion long before Harry even knew who Voldemort was. So, even if the Time Turner had survived, even if Harry had found a way to use it without creating paradoxes, even if there had been a chance to bring Dumbledore back, would he have done it? Or would he have understood that some things are meant to be, that some losses, as painful as they are, shape us into who we need to become? Maybe that's the real answer. Dumbledore didn't need saving. Harry did. And he had to learn to do it without him.